They watch the wins. But never read the margins. Yeah. I learned patience staring candles that don't move. Minutes feel like hours when the discipline's the proof. I don't chase green numbers, I chase clarity and truth. Every loss just tuition for the version never view. I journal every scar, every trade I didn't take. That restraint costs more than the money that I made. People counting profits, I'm accounting for the days where I chose to sit in silence, let the impulse fade, yeah. I've been trading time for skill, not applause. Risking comfort for a future I can stand on and call mine. They confuse motion with momentum, I pause. Cause the edge lives where emotion gets declined. I'm rich in the margins, poor in excuses. Built this from patience, over net illusions. Process over profits, the math never lies. You only see the wins, I see the years in disguise. I'm rich in the margins, wealth and restraint. Every no trade, put a brick in the frame. If it cost me my peace, I'm declining the game. I don't need to be loud, let the ledger explain. They flex results, I flex routines. Same setup, same risk, same screens. I don't gamble on hope, I position belief. Confidence backed by receipts, they'll never see. Lost friends to the grind, lost sleep to the vision. Lost money learning when, stand down and listen. Funny how the losses sharpen intuition. Now I smell bad trades like it's part of my nutrition. Yeah, I measure growth and consistency. Not likes, not praise, not sympathy. They celebrate moments, I honor frequency. Repetition made me dangerous eventually. I ain't chasing freedom, I'm earning control. Time is the asset, keep
Mic check, mic check. Make sure I'm good. I think this is good. All right. Mic check 1 2 1 3. Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. And then let's get popping. 1 2 1 3. I think you got me. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stocks for Rells, Sacrifice for Riches, and it's 2026. Let's go. We are ready to go now. I appreciate the love. My cousin Quinton, he just passed away. Big cuz, he's an OG cuz, and so funeral's next Friday. Way too soon. I think he's like 46 years old. Yeah, so that's big cuz. There's one more big cuz, and then I'm big cuz. So, yeah, just it's been tough for the family. 2026 was the start from Christmas Day, and like the day after Christmas, finding out that news, and then everything leading into 2026. I've been so behind. Just between all the stuff I have to handle and the loss of a family, a loved one, and I'm trying to play catch up. I was quiet, to start the year. I didn't have a lot of content from Christmas on, and that was for the reason. But also, I wanted to do 2026 different. Like not completely different, but I wanted to come in here with a fresh everything. I have a game plan for a year's worth of like lessons that I plan to give. Some of it's going to be public. Some of it's just going to be for Doctorate members of KGU, Megalodons, and just maybe some private lessons too. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff I got to get done. So for those that are like waiting on content or just waiting on information or whatever, just bear with me. And also know that I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude that's going to be pumping out 4 videos a day. That's just not who I am, and it's never who I will be. Now, I will be putting together like a lot of evergreen type content that my editor, who is also on a hiatus, he's going to be able to help me out with that. So I'm not spending so much time doing the stuff that, that takes a lot of my time. But regardless of the fact, thank everybody for being here. I see everybody. Hold on, let me make sure. I want to make sure that KGU is in the building. I see Sacrifice4Riches. Let's get it. But I'm live right now. Everyone here's the link. Live session. I don't know. We'll see who shows up. Let's see. All right. Let me make sure I'm good. All right. Now let me quench my thirst. And let's get into it. I need some lotion. Your boy looking ashy on camera. All right. So, what's up, B? Rel always with the bangers, man. I have to be able to listen to it. If I'm not vibing it, then I'm not playing it. So, and there's been a lot of like just stuff out that I'm not really a fan of. So I started making my own music, and I'm having a good time with it. So that's S4R sound on YouTube. All right. Let's see who we got. We got Jeff. I see you, big dog. Denise, Queen. I see you. Mrs. Rollback herself. All right. JC. I see you, big dog. Quanderson. I see you. I see Nisha. Queen. I see you. Nisha is like probably one of the OGs of OGs. Like, I was going through my list and I was trying to figure out who was like the original, like who was the first people to join and who was the first people to become megalodons. And that's a short list. And I'm trying to figure out what I can do for said people. What's up, Miss Philly? I see you, Queen. KGU in the building. If you are KGU and you're in the building right now, please give me a hashtag KGU. Let me know that KGU is in the building, because this is for Doctorate members. All right. Now, a lot of people want to know, man, how is Rel getting 600% gains? Like, you trying to see what that be like? How is Rel getting 600% gains? Like, so first of all, I will say this. Rel, I do win, but I do lose, and losing ain't fun. I don't like losing, but that's a part of the game, right? I don't lose 675%. That's impossible. But let me see if I can get this in here real quick. Some of you may have not seen it, but we're gonna get that, and we're gonna get this training cracking right now. So this is what we did on Snap, right? I had 20 contracts. I called Snap out like a couple weeks ago. Man, come on. A couple weeks ago. All right, 1 second. All right. And I just been riding it ever since. So I updated everybody when about as far as like where I was in the process, if I was still in or not in, rather than I was trimming my position, blah, blah, blah. Right. So a couple weeks ago, I announced it to a handful of individuals. Then it took off, and then it came back to hit the target. So I was able to then announce it to KGU and then get y'all on board for the exact same value and range as I was able to get it in on. So shout out to you. What's up, TT? Hey, Rel, thank you a lot. Yep, absolutely. There's a lot of questions on how to read my levels, so we're going to go over that today. And then we're going to talk about contract selection. We're going to keep it very brief, to the point, and then just keep it rolling. And then I'll open the floor up for any questions. I'm kind of like prolonging it here right now, so I can just wait for people to kind of tune in. You know, everybody's doing something right now. So what's up, Roll Life? I see you, King. Evening fam. Hopefully, yep. So, you know what? Before I get into the charts and then going over that stuff, let me know, does anybody have any questions? Questions, comments, concerns before I dive into the levels. Now, it would be nice if your question was related to what the content is, so I can kind of, you know, navigate the way I want to. So, now, the snap play was straight fire. Yeah, man, it was straight fire. It was straight fire. I wish it's one of those where I wish I had more. I was so confident in the play, yet I was still so conservative with 20 contracts. So I could have went so much harder, but only risk what I was willing to lose. Because here's the thing: if I let's say I grabbed 100 of those contracts, right? The moment, like I know my mindset, right? So the moment we hit like 38%, your boy would have got shaken out of his boots. It's process over profits, but when you have more money on the table than you're willing to lose, then it's really hard to check those emotions. So that's why it's process over profits. That's why you only bet what you're willing to lose, because if you bet so much where your emotions get involved, then you're gonna make bad decisions. And it happens. It's happened to me, right? So, and believe you me, that just purely because of what I'm going through, my mind has been an emotional roller coaster these past couple of weeks on trading. So it's all been kind of like rough for me. So that's why I've been reluctant as far as coming on here and then live trading today and then doing the live training sessions. So I've been there in the background kind of cleaning stuff up. So when I was ready to go and pull the trigger, that we were going to come out with fire, you know. So, but we're still going to hit the ground running in 2026. My birthday's Friday. We're going to take care of business right now, and then we're going to get to moving, all right? Hey, Christine. Good to see you, Queen. Christine's one of the OGs. She's one of the OGs. One of my students, I guess if you want to call it mentees, right? We've had a couple one-on-one sessions together. Them Bluetooth vibes are 2. I did 20. Yep, cool. All right, shout out to you, Roll Life. Roll Life, you've been killing it. So we're gonna get over to the charts. I'm about to get a chart set up real quick. Oh my God, I just looked at NQ and I was playing futures today, and yeah, only if your boy. I gotta get better at just letting my play out, because that was a banger of a play of a trade that happened that I'm not in because I just didn't want to be greedy. But anyway, let's go over to the charts. Is this the one? Yes, this is the one. All right. Thank you so much. Yes, your boy is turning 39. 39 for those that want to know. What am I doing? Give me a minute. I gotta move the chat over so I can have it visible at all times while I'm working the charts. Pop out chat. All right, so a couple things. One, and I should be in this play. I was in on this up here, right? But we were trading very tight in this range, and I was waiting for us to come in here. So I took profits here once we finally came into here, and then we escaped, and then you see what happened. But I put my kids to bed, all that other good stuff. It is what it is. This is a good run. Shout out to you if you're a futures trader. But we traded 20 accounts today, so that is still a solid win for me. Okay, so I'm gonna go to a clean chart, okay, and then we're gonna talk about my levels here, okay, and I'll use Netflix just because it doesn't matter the ticker. It just matters that you see what I'm talking about. Can you see my screen okay? Thanks, big dog. I appreciate it. Christine, we got Capricorns in the building. See, I'm telling you, our parents were bored. They didn't have nothing else to do in the winter time. That's how winter babies are made. All right, so first off, let me get up on the screen what it looks like to have my levels, like what my levels look like. Sorry, I'm discombobulated. I gotta get myself together. So let's go here. Let's go here. I'm also stalling just a little bit, y'all, mainly because I know people are rolling in, and this has been such a big topic or a big question like throughout the discords and the communities. So so I just wanted to get it done. Okay. All right, so heads up, you guys are going to be seeing a screen, and that's going to be from my app. All right, the app that I have created, and you are welcome to sign up for the free option of the app where you can do your journaling. However, I park a lot of my swing trades within this app. So I'm going to do a Windows capture real quick. No, I want to do. All right, here we go. So if you can see my screen, which I think you can, how can I make this better? All right, I'm going to have to do it this way. I want y'all to see this. All right. So this is the app, right? This isn't an app plug or anything like that, but I'm using it because it's a good example for like how my plays are structured, okay? How I structure things and how I've been structuring things for over the years. I pretty much built it into an app, right? So for instance, we're on Netflix. So if I have a Netflix trade in here, I can just type in NFLX, and then I can see where the entries, the strikes, and all that stuff is. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this little view button, and then it's going to show me the breakdown of the trade. You can't see that on my screen, so give me one moment. Let me see, transform and reset my, there we go. All right. So right here is that breakdown. And this might not be a good thing to do. So I'm probably going to have to see if I can pull this up like on the Discord so you can see this better. Can y'all see this okay? If not, then I'll see if it looks better or cleaner on the Discord. But essentially, I'll walk you through it. So when I post a trade, like in swing trades with Rells, right? Then I give you some general information, and the general information pretty much is, you know, what's the stock, right? The ticker, right? And then what's the like the primary levels I'm looking for entry and exit. So here you'll see the entry is here, the stop is here, right? So you see the entry and the stop are the same, right? The entry and the stops are the same, right? Well, why? Well, the reason is because that level that I found is a key level, right? So essentially for me, if, hold on one second here. So for me, if we confirm above that level, then that is, that's confirmation for me to enter a call, for example, or go long. Now, the stop loss is the same level because what oftentimes happens is there's liquidity grabs or stop loss hunting that occurs when you get into trades, right? So too often what I see a lot of traders do, they set these arbitrary stop losses, right? You'll hop into a trade and you'll say, well, I'm setting a 5% or 10% stop loss, right? And then what happens? Your stop loss gets hit, and then the trade takes off in the direction that you were thinking and is gone without you. And two things happen. Either A, you have the discipline to let it go, or B, you FOMO into the trade. And when you FOMO into that trade, you're well beyond where the original entry is, but you're stuck doing the same thing over and over again, right? So you FOMO in, let's say 40% above where the entry was, right? And then, but you set that same 10% arbitrary stop loss, right? And then you get smoked, and then it continues on without you. And then this is a cycle. Meanwhile, your true stop loss is what was there originally. Where was your entry, right? So when you see, it's not always this way, but if you see the entry and the stop being the same thing, then that means that there's a chance for chop, and you need confirmation above or below for entry and or exiting the play. Does that make sense? I will show you a visual on the chart so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. So also now I've enhanced what I show you right now as far as like who the trade is for. So I will give you a strike price, right? I'm looking at the strike, $97. I'm looking for a $97 call option or $91 put option. Depends on where we confirm, right? I give you these details within the Discord. Then I put down what I think the estimated premium is. So I was estimating that the call option is going to cost you $58. And then a put option is going to cost you $43 per contract, right? And then I give you your levels, right? The play level, this is representative of the type of trader, right? That it fits. So for me, I don't know if you watch much of my content, but I did a lot of options trade videos, and that's kind of how I started the platform for the most part. Outside of me just being transparent with my journey, I pumped out a lot of information as far as options, but I directed my focus towards this category of traders. That way people didn't feel lost, or people knew who I was talking to when I was talking about a particular trade. So there's the Minnows, the Dolphins, and the Orcas, right? The Minnows is any trader that prefers to trade contracts under $50. Typically, these are beginners or people that are just putting their toe in the water, trying to figure things out, don't really have a system, but they want skin in the game, but they're not trying to risk the bag, right? Dolphins, these are more like your intermediate traders. This is anybody trading contracts under $150, okay? These people have been around the block a little bit. They know how to trade they know about options. They know everything it is. They have a strategy, but it's probably not that sound, and they're just still trying to figure it out, but they understand a little bit more on risk management and things like that, so they can risk a little bit more. They're more comfortable, right? And then you got the orcas, the whales, the sharks, right? Those individuals, pretty much they can trade the bag, right? They can trade over $200 on a contract. That's kind of how I'm targeting individuals, right? So orcas typically have sound risk management. They have a pretty solid idea as far as what their trading style is. They are either profitable or they have hit the S curve, essentially, where, they figured out the game enough where they know that they might be negative P&L overall, but they're on their way right now because they're comfortable trading larger size without getting shaken, right? So that's how the play levels are directed. The minnows, the dolphins, the orcas. So if you see a minnow pop up, then that means that the contract I'm predicting is going to be under $50. If you see a dolphin, that means that the contract is over $50 but under $150. And if you see an orca, anything over $150, okay? So that's how that breakdown is. So when you get my breakdown, I also give you the take profit targets. I literally write the script for you. Like, you don't have to, you do your own due diligence. However, I've taken so much work out of it because I put so much work into it. And all you have to do is go and verify the information, right? So take profit, I give you 3 take profit targets typically. If there's not 3, I give you 1. If there's not 1, I give you 2, so whatever. But anyway, I give you TP1, TP2, and I typically give you a max. Now, when you see TP is take profit. This is your first take profit, so where you could trim. Second take profit, where you could trim, and then your max take profit. Now, typically, or oftentimes, you might see like a huge difference between like your take profit 2 and your max take profit. Why is that? Well, the reason is because there's other levels in between this level, but I'm not going to list every single level, right? I'm going to let you know that, hey, here's your take profit 1, here's your take profit 2, and the max I see this going is to this price point. And if you want to ride it all the way there, then you make sure you pick the contract accordingly and you give yourself the grace of space when you're looking at your DTEs, okay? So days to expire. So for example, if you know that we're entering at $94.70, but we're shorting Netflix and you are thinking that we're going to hit $81.79 and it's a Friday, I would not be choosing a 0 DTE if that's your trading plan. If your trading plan is to hit this max because you can see it going down based on your due diligence, you need to choose a better contract and probably give yourself more time. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. So this is the calculated details. You get all this, right? You get all this. I even give you details. I let you know the base premium and I let you know the DTEs that I'm looking at, the time factor based on this particular trade. So this trade, for example, I'm looking at a week plus. So I'm looking for a contract that's a week or greater out to enter the play. All right. So that's what I do. I put all this together and it's in a nice little bow. And then I go ahead and I shoot it over to the corresponding discords. Does that make sense? Yeah. Well, hey, Queen Nandi. Nandi, I thought you were a Discord member, but please hit the like button. Put a 1 in the chat if that made sense so far. There's more to it, but I just want to make sure that you're tracking. But essentially on my app, I can type in anything because I personally put these in, right? I personally put in these trades for certain app tier members to have access to, right? So it's a nice categorized area. So for example, right? If you know, let's say Netflix is at $90.72, right? Well, you can, if you're trying to figure out what to trade, you're just not sure what to trade. Well, maybe you got your eyes on Netflix. You're like, man, Netflix is, it's falling. Let's see if Rells has any levels. 2 ways you can do this. One, you can go into the Discord, you can go to my channel, and then you can do a search within the channel, right, that I post these plays in, and then just type in the ticker, and then you can just scroll through and see if you can find a trade. If you have an app, if you have this app, then you can go on here and you can type in Netflix and you can see if there's a trade that is near the entry is near where you are on the stock that you're looking at right now. So let's say SoFi is like $26 or $27 right now, right? Well, I can go in here and I'll take a look and see what I have for SoFi. So SoFi entry 26.15. I called this out and shout out to a couple of you that got the rocket on the way up on this call out. It was in the calls and puts channel on KGU, and then of course once those alerts trigger, then the Sacrifice4Riches, those guys, they get it too. So but anyway, here's your entry on SoFi. Hey, SoFi is near $26. Let me see if Rells has any plays for SoFi. Levels don't change really, right? So this is an archive of work. So then you can see what you have, right? If we exceed it or if we fail to break above $27, I have a put option for that, right? Put option right here. All right, we're looking at 27.66 rejection, right? And we're pretty much out of that play if we confirm above 27.66, right? And I'm going to be looking at the strike price of 25.50, and I'm estimating that premium is going to cost me about $22, right? There you go. So there's AI guidance and other stuff that tells you about the trade, but this isn't about that. I'm just trying to break down what the structure looks like. Okay. So now with that being said, I'm going to look at the comments, and then I'm going to drop some levels so you can see what it looks like on a chart. Okay. Actually, let me make sure, check the Discord quick. Let me check the Discord. All right, so let me pull up the Discord real quick so you can see. All right. Discord. One moment. Reset. All right, so this right here. Now, this is KGU, okay? So in KGU, you know, swing trade with Rells, right? And if you look at my channel, you'll see. I don't even think I can zoom in. I thought I could zoom in. I can't, a little bit. You'll see how I break it down. It's pretty much what I just told you, right? You'll get an alert from me. I'll say, well, Palantir's crossing. Palantir was a banger for some people, right? I missed the boat because I was distracted. I'm kind of upset about it. Not gonna lie. But that was like almost a 200% run. But it was crossing 181.62. I called this during the live stream, and I said what we were looking for, the live trading session earlier today. And then I give you the bullish and bearish bias, right? Confirmation above or below. Here's your calls. So for calls, if we confirm above, we're looking for 181.62 entry. Same as the stop loss. So if we confirm above 181.62, that warrants us to hop into a call option. We're not to get out of that call option unless we confirm below this level, right? That's just what it is. Strike prices here. Hey, Christine, shout out to you for gifting memberships. Hey, Queen Lisa, lurking in the shadows, not even announce yourself. Come on, Queen. Come on, Queen. You just got exposed. Everybody, Queen Lisa in the building. Lisa J. Stocks is in the building. She got exposed with a free gifted membership. All right. But the strike price, 188 call with the estimated premium of $56. It's over $50. Therefore, it's going to be a dolphin level play. And then you get your take profit targets. Now, notice that this only has one take profit target and a max take profit target. So we hit our take profit one, right? And then we rejected and fell on back down. If we had confirmed above this, then this was my next target, was 194.64. Shout out to y'all who rode that wave up. Okay. Now for the puts, if we at that level, 181.62, if we failed to confirm above, then this was our play. Okay. Pretty straightforward. All right. So let me get rid of this. All right. And then we're going to look at a chart real quick, and then we're going to kind of move on. I'll open the floor for questions. Can y'all see my screen okay? And can you hear me okay? One in the chat if you can hear me and see me. I think yeah, okay. I still get sometimes, but okay. All right, I gotta pause because I don't see any chats. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I just want to make sure I'm not talking to a wall. Okay. So, I'm not about to do a whole chart breakdown, but I'm about to show you what it looks like. Okay, so let's just say this is what my chart will look like. Okay. I would have a floor, a ceiling, and a crossing point, essentially. But I'm not getting into too much detail. This is not what this is about, okay? But this is about reading my levels, okay? So, okay, so we're gonna look at this to the downside, actually, but it's okay. 1 second. Let me read the comments. Quite a delay between us typing in chat and you seeing it. Oh, yeah. It's all good. It is what it is. Thanks for letting me know, though. Okay. So, anyway, so pretend like this is my chart. This is what you don't see necessarily. Some people see it, some people don't. Sometimes I add or include, sometimes I include a chart. 1 second, I'll show you. I might include a chart link in a trade breakdown, right? So let's see if I got a good example. Yeah. So like this one, for example, you see NVIDIA, right? I have an NVIDIA play, calls, puts, whatever. And then it has a TradingView chart. Okay. So you click on that and you can actually see the levels, right? You can see the levels. I don't always share that, but you know, that's an option, right? So sometimes this is what you'd be looking at essentially. Thank you, Queen. That's okay. I'm happy you made it. Thanks for being here. All right. You're like an OG of OGs too. I was looking up names and seeing who's been here for a long time. I only started this like back in February last year. So we're approaching like the 1 year anniversary of this channel. But anyway, so let's say this is the chart I'm basing things off of. All right. Now, based on what I'm seeing, right? Like, I mean, I can go ahead and do a full-fledged like technical analysis and try to figure out what's going on here. So in reality, I know that we're kind of in a symmetrical system and we're looking to break up or break down. So what I would be saying to you, I would have an alert, or I would have a play ready to go for 91.21 on Netflix. This is just an example. Okay. So I would say something like, okay, if we can confirm above 91.21, then I will be taking calls up to take profit 1. So we can just say this is take profit 1, TP 1. Okay. And then we can say this is max take profit, max TP. Right. Right. So I would give you these two targets. Okay. I would give you take profit 1 and a max take profit target. And then this would be your entry. So say entry, stop. Okay. So just so you have like a visual for reference, right? So what does that mean? That means that if the price breaks up, right, my alert is going to trigger, right? But it's going to bring my attention to the stock. I'm going to let y'all know, not every time, you know, y'all don't get every trade alert in KGU. I just can't tag everything, but y'all are going to get the alert because I'm likely going to share. I'm going to share at least 3 a week minimum, but I share multiple ones a day sometimes. It just really depends on what the market's doing. So this is going to trigger. And then I'm going to say, hey, everybody, look alive at 91.21. If we can confirm above, right, then we're going to ride this wave all the way up to take profit 1 of 91.88. All right, so let's say we enter off of this. Let's say this is the candle. Let's see if I can clean this up and make something all nice and neat for everybody. I thought there was an easy. Oh yeah. All right. So let's say this is my confirmation, right? So I hopped in on this block, right? On this candle. I'm happy. I'm hopping in. I'm going long, right? Well, price could retrace, right? It's just the nature of the beast. That's what happens. The market just doesn't go straight in one direction. So when it comes down here, right, sometimes it might want to do this. And this is where people get tripped up, right? because you enter your stop loss here, but it whips back up. Well, it's likely a wick. It's not a confirmed candle. Unless you see a box. Unless you see a box like this, fully closed below this, then this play has not yet been invalidated. So here's a good example. We can just look left and then see how prices are reacting. So I'll say, hey, we're looking for calls if we can confirm above, right? Well, we hit, but we didn't confirm. We just hit and wick back down, right? This is not yet a confirmation for me to say, let's hop into puts, right? It just isn't. So now we do a second leg up, right? And then it looks like we have some bullish momentum, right? But we have a top wick, right? And then right here, right? And then the next candle is what we're looking for. And it's a doji. It's an inverted hammer. So again, this tells me that buyers have lost steam and they don't have control going through this level. So I'm not hopping into a call. This ran up for somebody. This ran up and you got excited because this was green. And then they went and then you got smoked, right? Now you're here and you're fighting theta, if it's SPY or whatever, going through this chop, right? Because we didn't wait for a full confirmation candle. So what happens, right? Our calls are not validated. So we can't enter calls here, right? Where's my longs? We wanted calls. We couldn't get it, right? We couldn't get it. There's nothing in here that says that we're going to enter a call. Well, until that happens, our bias is neutral. We have a neutral bias on this position. And oftentimes you'll see on my trade alerts that it says neutral. It'll either have a bullish, a bearish, or a neutral stance. I will give you that as well, right? That way you know how to approach the trade. So what do we get? We actually get a couple dojis and then followed by a strong red bar, which tells me that sellers are in control, right? They are pushing this stock down and I'm more likely to hop into puts versus calls. So when I see a doji, right, followed by a strong solid bar, right, I have supply and then I have an imbalance that just occurred. I'm not going into too deep on that. That's not what this class is about. But anyway, this is what I have. And then this is my confirmation that, okay, I'm enter puts, right? And the only way I'm going to exit this position is if I break back above 91.21 and confirm. If I don't get a clean block that trades, right, that trades here. Let me see if I can do this. No stretching. If I can't get a clean bar. Oh, this is nice. I think I need to make these some defaults or whatever. Okay. If I can't get a clean square, right, or bar above this, then that tells me that I'm not invalidated yet. I'm going to get rid of this just for context, right? So I hopped into puts, right? If this turns around like it did right here and it runs up into my entry, I'm not exiting just because the bar cleared this position. No, just because this bar looks all scary and like in green, I'm not hopping into a call because I know that this is my resistance, right? And I'm not switching my bias until this closes above, right? And then at the end of the day, if it turns around on you, it turns around on you. It is what it is. But your bias right now is bearish because the bulls have failed to confirm above the level, right? So put a 1 in the chat if this makes sense. Put a 1 in the chat if this makes sense. This equals bullish bias, right? This equals bearish bias. I like this. I'm probably gonna have to. Nice. I'm gonna have to save these. I use these mainly for my hold up. Save as. Bearish bias. Candle. Example. Give me a minute. I want to save this before I forget. Okay. So we have our examples. Let me look to the comments quick. LOL not. LOL haha. What? Oh. Let me see here. Okay. Let me catch up. 1 anniversary coming up. Yeah. We getting cake. Okay. We getting cake. We get Do we confirm on 5 minute? Denise, it depends on how you're trading. If you're swing trading, then you probably want to confirm on a higher time frame. You can confirm on the 5 minute, the 15 minute. If you're intraday trading, you can confirm on the 45 second, the 1 minute, the 2 minute. It just really depends on your trading strategy. So have, Denise says, so have candle above confirmation level and half below confirmation. It is not confirmed. That is correct. That is correct. This is not a bullish confirmation. This is not a bearish confirmation. This is manipulation at work. That's what this is. You know what? Let's go with the bottom. I like that better. Save as. Okay. That's not confirmation. This is the Okie-Doke. Do you have a video on confirmation? Well, Jeff, you are Megalodon. Yes, you have access to that stuff. So, there's a Megalodon playlist for deep dives that you exclusively have access to. I will be going through more of this stuff in detail with the Leviathans at a later date. Great breakdown for your strategy. I appreciate that. But you got to apply it, right? The strategy is only as good as the wielder. It's like a tool, right? And if you're not going to follow the rules, then it's probably not going to work out for you. And I've been burned not following my own rules, and it sucks because I'm typically right. I'm going to open the floor for questions real quick. I got to send this to my buddy. Wrapping up. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's how you read my levels, right? So, okay, let me add one more thing to this. So we are bearish on this. Let me get rid of some noise. I'm adding one more thing on this. So let's say we did go bearish, which we're bearish, right? And we rolled this to target, right? So we took this to target, right? And we went through it, right? So a couple things you got to pay attention to as you approach target. What's going on with the candlesticks? Yes, we still have bearish imbalances. However, you're starting to see the wicks kick in. Then you're also starting to see your bodies thin out, right? So that means that volume is probably slowing down a little bit. So sure enough, you got a hammer at the bottom and then boom. So this just told you that, okay, I mean, you probably should have taken your profits. However, your play isn't invalidated. So again, it depends on how you're trading this. If you're swing trading this for the fences, then this play is valid until this breaks. But this is one of those where, man, you hit your target. Maybe you should consider trimming, right? Because this is a strong bar that you don't want to mess around with. All right. But from here, let's say you missed the entry here. Okay. The next thing you can do is take a take profit target and use it as an entry. So if we have a bearish bias, right? Well, then I'm looking for price to confirm below this level, reject, and then I'll look for puts here and then write it down. But kind of the same system, right? I have to play by the same rules, right? That being, if we confirm above or confirm below, then it warrants me to hop into puts. But if this turns around and does something like this, well, this isn't confirmed. I can't jump out of my position yet. I need to wait for confirmation for this to be invalidated. It's kind of the same principle as up here. So you can use the take profit targets that I give you as potential entries, okay? But just know that it can be a little bit more stressful depending on what you're trading, because in reality, your true stop loss is really that level, right? And now you're playing this game, right, where it can retrace and then boom boom. But you take your profit, you wait for price action to give you another opportunity, and then if you want to hop back in, well, great, play it to the downside. And then if you do that from here, then now again, your confirmation, you're confirmed below still, but your stop loss is further away, right? It's further away because you entered down here versus near here. So you'll have a greater risk, but the reward is still solid, right? Okay, still solid reward. What's that, a 2.6R? So, all right, that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully that made sense. More plays to come. If you want the app, then consider downloading it. It's available for free, as far as logging your trades and stuff. And if you have any questions, if you're a Doctorate member, I believe, in KGU, you can just ask it right within Swing Trades with Rel. If you are asking me a question where I have to explain a whole strategy, it's not going to happen, y'all. And no disrespect, but I can't write an essay to you as far as what to do and how to do it. You have to tune into these training sessions, okay? And that's all I can say about that, all right? So all love. I appreciate everybody for being here. I will see y'all in the Discord. For me, what gets me in trouble is not switching my, man, same here. Same thing. We have to trust those levels though, because oftentimes we're right? When my levels hit, I should just flip right to puts, because or like whatever, the reverse, because I'm typically right. And I should do that until the play is invalidated, because the risk is very, very low. But live and learn, right? How many times we got to get slapped up before we learn our lessons? Well, everybody takes whoopings a little different. Some people need a switch, some people need a belt, some people need a racetrack, some people need an extension course. Hey, we all anyway, traumatized kid. All right, so anyway, I'll talk to you